Hello students, this is James Stelgaroff. Everyone calls me JD. I am your instructor for Econ 200 and I am a seasoned veteran of online instruction, but anytime you have a suggestion or any questions, you can always email me. And I'll be happy to answer you, hopefully within 24 hours. If it's 48 hours, except for weekends, that means I missed your email. You should email me again. Now, what I'm going to show you here is what I'm really excited about. This is the first time I'm using it, though, so you can let me know if you're having problems. But I'm really kind of jazzed about this first edition. As you can see, Revell in Micro first edition. I will give you a link on Blackboard. It will say Revell in Micro first edition. You know, it will be a link to what you see right now. As you can see, I've already got a Pearson account. All you need to do is visit your Pearson account once you have a Pearson account. And I'll give you the link to join the course on Thursday, right around noon, September 20th. This is just to, just a little preview of coming attractions. You sign in here, or if you don't have, I think that you're going to get a link. If you're not registered, it'd be a link right about here that says, hey, you either create a Pearson account to go further in this course, or if you already have a Pearson account, it's going to ask you maybe to go ahead and sign in with your, like you had it in another course. I know that my math lab is used in some courses. For example, if you took it online anyway, this is the first part, right? You'll either create a Pearson account or sign in with your existing Pearson account if you have it. Most of you, this will probably be the first time, and you'll have to create an account, a Pearson account. You give them some information. You create, I think, your email is your username or something like that. I don't know. And then you create, of course, your password. And then you get into the Revell system, okay? And then so I'm going to go ahead and sign in. I think, yes, okay. So I'm signing in as you would once you've created. So once you create a Pearson account. But you'll look for this link inside Blackboard. Don't go anyplace else. Inside Blackboard, inside Econ 200, sign in here, okay? I'll give you the link here at Blackboard, okay? Anyway, there's the course, Econ 200 Micro Economics Fall 2018. It's in Revell. You purchase the payment code, or you can do it online, or you get that 14-day free access, and then you can decide how you want to pay. Okay, but once you click into the course, and we're loading here, you'll see that you'll have assignments due. This is Monday. Generally speaking, assignments open for the week, but you can work 3 weeks ahead, okay? If it was me, I'd be working at least 1 week ahead of the deadlines, because there's no way I can change these deadlines. I can't, I've had other course management systems where I, have some sympathy for people who have emergencies, or, you went on a road trip, you had a real family emergency or a real technical problem where you just weren't able to gain access. Your internet was out all weekend or something. I know stuff can happen. I can't do anything about that. So what I will do is at the end of the course, once you've done every one of these, you have to at least get inside and try, some assignments. Don't game it too. I'm doing really well. If you're going to drop the lowest assignments, I will drop the lowest. We've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How about 2 weeks? I'll drop your lowest 2 weeks of assignments in terms of, you see concept checks here, right? Practice sections, concept checks, that's sort of one set. And then homework for each chapter where you can work through the problem and get help. And then the quiz, the traditional quiz where you sit down to take the quiz. You can't go back, you can't go forward in the questions, you know, kind of do it one by one. Each student gets a different question for these 15 questions, and you don't see the answers until after the deadline for the quizzes, okay? For obvious reasons. Okay, anyway, when you're ready to start, see, you can get a textbook if you want to. You know, you could buy one online really cheap. This it would be this. See, this is the first edition of Revell, but it is Hubbard and O'Brien. I explain on the syllabus the 6th edition. You could probably get this now. The 7th is out. This goes with the 6th edition of Hubbard and O'Brien's Microeconomics. So you can actually buy one of those if you need a hard copy textbook. You can get one probably for really cheap, used, okay? If you need a hard copy textbook, but this is not designed for that. This is like a true online interactive adaptive learning system. You'll get videos talking, like let's go in, you begin and you go through the course, with the concept checks. That's one set of assignments, right? And you're supposed to watch the videos, go through this. You'll really enjoy it. I think that you really will. I've gone through it. I like it, and I maybe I'm a nerd, but I think this is really cool. You go through the concepts. Of course, people are rational. People respond to economic incentives. We all respond to, you get rewards or you get punishments. We take stuff away from you if you don't do what we tell you. Optimal decisions are made on the margin. Everything's not all or nothing, right? It's a little bit more of this and a little bit less of that, right? Life is about trade-offs, and so that's what this goes through. We look at the costs and benefits. We try to gather as much information as we can, right? And so we take into account the benefits, and we don't ignore the costs. We take into account costs but ignore the benefits. No, wait. Consumers and firms always make no way. The idea assumes that consumers and firms, we get all the available information, both the costs and the benefits. We want to achieve our goals, but we want to do it in the least costly manner, right? We want to get something out of life, but we don't want to give up too much. So anyway, you can check your answers on these, right? And you can redo them. You can try again. You check your answer. What I thought that was the right answer. So you go through this stuff, right? And then you can do this, right? You can go through it yourself, but you check your answer, make sure you get it right, because this counts. See, there's point. That's worth 1 point if you don't do it, right? You got to go through the chapter, read it, then try the practice concept checks and the practice, right? That comes after each section. And then at the end, you'll see, right? There's the assignments. There's these concept checks and practice, right? Practice sections, and then you've got homework, right? You go through the whole chapter, and then you have homework, right? But the homework allows you, I think, to try several times to get the right answer, right? Okay. And so you go one by one. It's like, this is practice for taking the quiz, the high stakes quiz. You get question help here, right? I don't know how to answer this. I don't know how to do this, right? I don't know what this is talking about. There's question help, right? Anyway, the homework is a big part, right? And the concept checks are a big part of the, right? There's points here, all of it. The concept checks in practice are points. That's one kind of assignment. The homework is the second kind of assignment. There's 12 points here. And then finally, you've got the quiz, right? And I'll go back to the, and you can always check your performance, right, during the course, right, in the grades. Okay, and finally this is the high stakes quiz where you can't get another shot at it, right? You just, now every week I will go over some of these quiz questions so that you can do as well as you can. Okay, I'll give you some pointers on the quiz if you watch my little screenshots every week, okay, at the beginning of the week. Just like think of this as the beginning of a week, at the end, usually on Sunday, but not this week, right? You'll have a test. You have something that's open all week. In fact, you can work 3 weeks ahead of schedule if you want to. You can always work ahead of schedule, and I can't change the deadlines. I cannot do anything about that. All I can do is promise you that I'll drop the lowest 2 chapter quizzes or 2 homeworks or 2 practice and concept checks, right? Those 3 types of assignments. I can drop your lowest grades for the 3, for the lowest 2, and so that would say 2 weeks worth of work. But I'm not going to allow you to game the system where, oh, gee, I'm doing really well. I got an A up to this point, and so I don't have to do anything the last 2 weeks. That ain't going to happen. Okay. In other words, you got to at least go in and attempt these. I've got to see, oh, you didn't do so well on that one, but you tried everything, or you just started it and something happened to your computer. Or you started at the beginning of a week to do, some of the assignments. You've got to try, right, to do these in order to get, before I'm going to drop, I'm going to look at, you got an A up, you think you're not going to do the last two weeks worth of work because you got an A up to that point. That's not, that's called gaming the system. Not going to allow that, right? I'm just saying, what the expectations are at the beginning here. You should try everything, right? And if you do have problems, realize that you can, I'm very sympathetic with people. If you have an emergency, I can't change your deadline really in this system. If I could, I would. I've done it before in other types of learning systems, but there's an advantage to this learning system because it's an interactive, adaptive learning system. But there's a disadvantage in that the deadlines are rigid. I can't do anything about changing those deadlines. I would work well in advance of the deadlines, at least a couple days ahead of time, if not weeks, a week or 2 ahead. If you can do that, if you can discipline yourself to do that. But it's not going to work if you try to let everything pile up until like Sunday afternoon and then try to get through everything. It's just too much. I'm guessing that it's going to take 6 to 9 hours of work a week, on top of just being able to read on screen or with a book. If you want to, again, like I said, you could get the hard copy. But I will be posting things hopefully on Mondays, just like this week. Sometime every Monday of the course. Just for some pointers as you go through the course, okay? And I'd be happy to answer any questions. And on Thursday, I will make that syllabus available, and I will be available from 11 to 1 at the phone number that I give you for Thursday. So if you have any problems on Thursday trying to get into the course or something like that, you can talk to a real person from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the afternoon. I'll just make myself available those 3 hours. Okay, generally that's true for every Tuesday and Thursday. If you want to talk to a real person, I will be available. And of course, my office hours are from 5 to 6 before my public economics class on campus. I'd be glad to help you at my office, FO 139, faculty office building 139. And like I said, I'll have all the information on the syllabus, but again, every Tuesday and Thursday you can talk to me on the phone. I'll be available 3 hours during the or by appointment. If you send me a phone number, I'll be glad to call you. Okay, signing off for now. Good luck.